Hello. Oh. Oh. The game started on the wrong screen. That's strange. Game capture. And pop it up. Should pop up soon. Okay, so it's not showing up. Hold up. Okay. There. Okay, I need this to be on the correct screen though. Hold up. Content warnings. Traumatic global events. Animal cruelty. Oh, that sucks. Children in peril such dying. Spoilers, exactly who dies? I don't want to know. Okay. Ooh, me. I ain't even looking at chat because I'm trying to... Hold up. Let me... Yes, run in background. I hate it when the fucking game stops. Okay. Full screen window windowed. Put it at 16. It will only let me do 60. Okay. Okay, now I have it on the correct screen. Oh shoot, sorry. I have like a bunch of sounds on, don't I? My bad, I still had the Toontown music on. Let me bring up chat. Chaos! Oh, hello, Morgan! Hi! How you doing? Happy Pride! Good, working from home? Oh, me too. Okay. I have this game, and I have the other YouTube chat up. I hate it when I have two YouTube chats, and it's always like a roll of the dice whether the correct one's gonna pop up on the live stream. Happy Pride! So, I've heard many good things about, I was a teenage exocolonist. I've heard it from all the trans women. They're all like, this game's amazing, it'll change your life, it's beautiful, it made me cry. I yearn for the characters. I desire them. Fuck, I dropped my microphone. And now I want to know, equipped pets. I can equip pets? Okay. Oh wait, I can use a controller? Can I? This looking pretty controllery. Let me get mine. It's right here. Got so excited about the game that you dropped your mic. Don't we all? Okay. I'm using the controller now. Let me click into it. Oh, really? Okay. The controller should be working. It's connected. Okay. I'll just click with my mouse. It does look super cute. I just looked up on Steam. You could use my Humble Bundle partner affiliate code if you really want. If you want to buy it. There's no sale right now, but it'll probably be on sale in a few weeks, to be honest. Okay. Let's click wake up. Warning, this game deals with mature subjects and may not be suitable for all players. Please see our content warnings in the system menu for a detailed list of themes and events. Okay. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire! Your head is pounding. My heart is pounding, yes. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here. Oh, what on Vertumna is happening? There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. I forgot. Oh. Hey! I forgot to pull up the timer too. Let me do that real quick before I forget again. Streaming now, countdown. 2 hours and okay. 100 for 52 70. Yeah, this should be it. I like the Dungeon Master-esque exposition, feels very TTRPG. Yeah, it does seem so. Probably has a lot of inspiration from that. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. Climb out. You try to stand up, but one of your legs falls uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. That reminds me that, like, several weeks ago, I was just, like, walking to the bathroom, and my fucking legs just like, I, like, rolled my ankle or something, and I just fucking collapsed on my knees in the doorway. I was like, what the fuck? It was so strange. And I had a hard time getting up. It hurt. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. For a second, I thought my microphone was off. That would have been terrible. I've had those hello legs while you know work moments. It fucking sucks. Glow season, what is that? Oh, it's a creature. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Oh! The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. Title screen. Epic music. You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Game over. Oh no. Yes, stream's over. Oh man, that sucks. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4, in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you something else. Oh yeah, I get to put my own name. Fuck. Man, it's always this. I get stuck on this. They named you. Oh, fuck. It was a beautiful name. Perfect for a little baby. Every time they looked at you, they went, oh, fuck. It was beautiful. No. Goober. There! That's my name. It's Goober. Aw, cute. Goober's so cute. Goober's a they, them. He, him, she, her, they, them. Feminine appearance. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. Use the sliders on the left to choose pronouns and late teens appearance. These can be changed at any time. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumno will be like. Every child in the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. Ooh. Extra fingers? You know I have to pick extra fingers. Oh yeah, I got 6 fingers! Look! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those puppies! You've heard that long ago, having a 6th finger would have been something you'd hide or even remove. But Auntie Seaton says some of the best musicians back on Earth have the gene for extra fingers, just like you. I have the gene for extra toes. Unfortunately, they never sprouted. I just have an irritating extra toenail. Absorbent brain makes it sound like you can use your head to mop up spills. Absolutely. I just take that skull cap right off, and I just rub and rub and rub. You're also very good at making crafts, which you do with your friend. Okay. Anemone, tough and gentle Cal, bold and confident Mars, quiet and adventurous Dice, studious and mature Tangent, shy and sweet Tammy. I like Tangent. Tangent sits right up front by the holo projector and always has her hand in the air. She and her twin brother Dice drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tang is the girl you always knew she was, but her relationship with Dice is worse than ever. Yeah, Tangent! You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. Was my grandfather's name short for Geisbertus? Crazy Dutch names. It's a pretty unique name. Oh! When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Goober, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives a sharp, worried look. 30+ stress. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. Woo! I'm not good with words today. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look at a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, oh, I don't have this. I don't have toughness 5 or greater. Nah. Get in touch with your emotions. I don't want to do that. Think of a game to play. Let's pretend I have an imagination. You start a game of Rambutan with some of your classmates. You pick the topic. Types of fruits. Cal thinks about it. I can name 10 kinds of fruit, he says. One extra card when drawn. Distraction. It sounds like me. Oh. -10 stress. Maybe I could name 11, Dice mumbles. Anemone, Anemone confidently counters with 12. Back to Cal. He thinks again. I could name 20. The others shrug, and Anemone tells him to go ahead. Apple, orange, banana. Cal starts. Tomatoes are a fruit. Cucumbers, corn. The game immediately erupts into an argument of semantics, as many games of Rambutan do. Okay, Nemo. Oh, plus 20 stress. I'm so stressed out. Look, 70 out of 100 stress. That's not good. Rebellion, 50 out of 100. Relationship with adults in colony government. Oh, 50-50 there. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of deja vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know, somehow, that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch. That's not even a crunch. What the fuck kind of noise did I just make? And feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. Whoa! Whoa! Whoops! You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Hilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger. Grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not gonna let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. Drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright? You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Trees? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around outside on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Cautiously step outside to your new life. Aw, look at me! Oh, look at me, I'm so cute! Oh, now I can use my controller. Oh! Cammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake? Are you alright? You better go see your dad. She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. To walk, click on the ground. Click on characters to talk to them. Said what? Where do I go? Fuck. The garrison. A small team led by Security Chief Rit was enough to keep the peace in the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here in vtuber, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. Best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Okay, it's the same thing. Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other quarters lead off to the teaching labs in medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Goober. Cammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics, near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed, Cammy stammers, blushing. It's scary outside. Command. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors off to tiny, nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into the supply depot, which works as both requisitions office and general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. To the notice board. Colony food shortfall, -100%, low. Colony security rating, evaluating. Upcoming event. We will be hosting our first annual Vertumnalia festival during the second month of Dust. Chief Administrator Seek. Notice, take precautions outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Chief Surveyor Tonin. Current Council and Administration. I'm not going to remember any of this. Lulu. Is that it? Yeah, it seems like that's all I can, right now. Geoponics. The greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from Earth that might belong in a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in an airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies. Little flowers with what look like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy, meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flower. Goober! Your dad gives you a big, warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Aw, you love your dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings in a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. What's outside the walls? Oh, don't worry about that, my dear aubergine, he says. Nothing that could hurt you. We just don't want you getting lost in the big, big world out there. Oh, before I forget. He pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. tell him you know what's in it? You describe the medallion, and your dad tisks as he hands you the package. Oh, who ruined the surprise? Was it Seek? I'll bet it was Seek. They hate fun. He grins and adds, don't tell them I said that. You start to explain that nobody told you, but someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Goober, he says. But I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed, and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it, your mother and I. Professor Hell is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Goober. I love you. I love you too, Dad. Unlocked study humanities and engineering. To enter buildings, click on the door or the flag beside it, or get close and press enter or another action button. Then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll have time to focus on a few things. Okay. Hello. You see Dice sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of. Then why do we need walls? You stare at the gates and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. How do controls feel from an accessibility view? They feel pretty alright. I have a controller. For some reason it wasn't working when I first pulled up the game. I don't know. But, pretty good so far. Had a lot of settings. Too. Breaking you from your daydream, Dice whispers. I think there are monsters out there. I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous. Stop making fun of me, Dice pouts. You're as bad as Mars. Pretends not to notice you. Need bravery 20 or greater. Done. Okay, I can't even talk to him no more. Hi! Hiya, Goober! Anemone seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it ain't cold, but it's still neat and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. Have you seen any monsters? Nope, just some little bugs. The grown-ups would say if there were monsters, right? He shrugs and smiles reassuringly. Even if there were monsters, Chief Red would beat them all up, so don't worry. My mom says we're safer here than we were in the space. You both look over the wreckage of the Stratospheric, the spaceship where you were born. Anemone's mom, Auntie Sedent, is probably right about that. Look what the wormhole did to your ship. What are you making? Just snow spirals, she says. But earlier, me and Cal made a big snow pile. You missed it while you were sleeping in Med Bay. She smiles her broad, gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm gonna be late for a humanities class. She doesn't look very worried at you. I like Anemone. Yeah, Anemone's cute. It's okay, she says. Professor Hal is chill. He won't mind, but we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, Racia! No fair! She's getting a head start! Anemone, no! She's spunky. Get back here! I don't want to go to school, Anemone pouts. But I guess we have to. You know how to get there, right? Through the door in the engineering ring right behind me. You know, the big thing with the rockets on top? She laughs. I was confused too at first. I'd never seen the ship from the outside before. Okay, I can't do anything else. That. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of their time in the big common area. There's a lounge and cafeteria and a crèche where all the little kids and babies are raised communally. Can I talk to this little rascal? No. I'm not brave enough. Okay. I guess I'll go study. Let's study humanities. Welcome, Goober, Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn. Because I was up late preparing Congruence's subterminal and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumina colony means to you. Just doodle instead of writing. Fuck that. True to his word, Hal leans back in his chair and begins to snore. You doubt he'll even bother reading this assignment, so you just practice drawing made-up animals on your hollow palm instead. +2 creativity. +1 from extra fingers for... Aw, oh, hell yeah! The extra fingers are coming in handy already. When Hal wakes up from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. You're docked a few kudos when he discovers you didn't bother to do the assignment. He thinks your animals are pretty cool, though. That's okay. That's exactly what I would do, though. Extra fingers are coming in handy. Ah, yeah! When you work or go to class, you'll pick a quick card challenge as the month passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. Your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward for doing your best. Okay. Bonus for flushes, same color together. Bonus for pairs, same number together. Okay. Bonus for straights. Increasing... bonus from straights? That must mean that the allies are giving us cash, right? You sure you're not a dad? The more cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other. It can be rearranged to find the best total score. I'm gonna fucking suck at this. It's already too much. If I have to remember a lot of things, even if they're simple, it's a wrap. What? Whoa! Uh-huh? This is equal 1. Oh, because of +1. Okay. Why is this... Okay. +1 challenge. Okay, win. Victorious! You worked well this month. +1 creativity. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarters wing. An entire month? Is there a straight month? I hope not. They should all be curved. Ah, that extra fingers perk! Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job, and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up in the stratospheric, when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. Why not? I don't know. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? School's so boring. Your mom gives you the look. Goober, things are different now that we've landed. You won't be a kid for much longer. You have to start thinking about the future, and that future starts with a good education. Your dad has a more sympathetic smile. You just have to find a subject you like. And you know, Professor Hell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agreed that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future. And if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. Unlocked shoveling dirt in geoponics. Early quiet. Mid-quiet. Next month. Quiet season. Age 10. Anemone is bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. Look out! A ball is flying toward you! You flinch and jump out of the sports ball way as it careens past your head. Whoa, that was close. Anemone doubles over laughing. Nice save, Goober, she giggles, jogging over to pick up the ball. Haha, not! Want me to show you how to do it? Okay, fine. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep going. Anemone tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little Zero-G one on the stratospheric. Your brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. Her brother. Excuse me. I was like, what brother do I have? He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. Unlock sports ball in the garrison. I don't want to go to school, Anemone pouts, but I guess we have to. You know how to get there, right? Oh, never mind. She's already said this to me before. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Just hanging with my friends. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen Anemone? She's been out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess that's what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team. He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumno is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky and it'll be real hot then, you'll see. What's up, my punky pomodorino? find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth. Spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asked. Remember, Goober, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points toward the engineering wing. In the back half of the stratospheric severed frame. God, I can't speak at all today. Professor Hal's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? What are you doing in geoponics? She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of Earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. Hi, Velofa, how you doing? Welcome back to my chat. I just started this game like, what? Oh, it looks like nearly 40 minutes ago? Not much has happened yet. I just made my character. Named it Goober. I'm talking to my mom now. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you, up and down. You're growing fast, Goober, but you're still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. Strong mom! Strong mom! What's happening in engineering? Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the field. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. What can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. What's the garrison? Security Chief Red is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you'd see on a holobid. For a moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else, then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. What's going on in command? I think Seek said they need someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Governor Uticott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know of the world out there. Let the adults find out, then maybe you can join them in a few years, when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye! Oh no, it's all the same. I can't talk to Dice again. Oh! Who's this one? A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Goober! Mars called out to you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Okay, whatever. Good, Mars claps. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters. Mars sighs. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Mars puts out her hand expectantly. Give it here. I don't have them yet. Then what are you doing here? Mars scolds you. She's right down the hill at the end of the ship. Mars points toward Tammy, who's staring obliviously at the sky. This isn't Tammy. That's Anemone. My bad. I immediately forgot her name. Oh, this is Tammy. Tammy is staring obliviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Goober, she says, putting her hand to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's soy sweets? Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have this scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nanoprint it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you were her study partner. Tammy was awful, just awful at Earth history. She thought Europe was the name of an English queen and the Pacific was a famous ceasefire treaty. Facts go in one of her huge ears and back out the other. No matter how hard you tried, she never seemed to improve. Her ears perk up hopefully when she sees you. Hello, Goober. I was hoping you could help me with some homework? Of course. Oh, thank you. She bounces up and down. You spent a couple hours trying to teach her the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. One makes heat and one absorbs it. Why is this so hard for her to understand? The thing is, Tammy never loses heart when she fails a test or gets an answer wrong. It's inspiring, even though sometimes you feel like you get dumber after studying with her. Oh, how harsh. -1 reasoning? We literally lost intelligence because we were helping her? That is amazing. I ate them. You did what? Mars shrieks. Those are mine! Tammy made them for me! She crashes her arms and huffs at you. I knew you wouldn't be good at delivery, she says. That's what I told Administrator Seek. Mars gestures to the door behind her. I think they're still looking for delivery people if you want to make it up to me, she says. Tell Seek I referred you. Just try not to eat your next delivery, nullhead. I was just kidding! Oh, hi, Goober. Marzipan looks bored. Oh, her name's Marzipan. Okay. My dad's made me come out to get some fresh air. Then I was so fresh about it. It's always full of acid snow or pollen or water, and I don't know which is worse. I need to persuade her in order to tell her about your day. Okay. Look, Marzipan, it was a joke, okay? I was pranking you. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. I don't like when he goes out there, she sniffs after he has gone. But he's so brave. So are you. That's why I like you, Goober. Okay. I guess I can go to school. Oh, because Tangent is our study buddy. Okay, let's do I lost some reasoning, so I should probably get some back. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologists and up-and-coming chemists. Professor Hal welcomes you back to your old classroom. This afternoon we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to his hollow projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a little bit of everything, with opportunities for further study in your favorite fields. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering classes. Okay. I ate them all. Okay. Okay, I win. +4 biology, +1 reasoning, +15 stress. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody's about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. Whoa, what's that? What's this? This is cute. I'm like reflecting. Okay. This morning, you were sure Professor Hal was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. Didn't, though. As Professor Hal walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. I mean, makes sense why she would say that. It did seem like we lied. And we already lied to her before. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if? What if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? They might happen. Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick or that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? Secret powers are fun? I'm delusional. You start keeping a private journal in your hollow palm, recording the events where you remember something before it happens. You also write down your dreams when they have that feeling of being real. You like the idea of being magic and seeing the future, but some of those dreams are very scary. I've decided to turn this into a good thing. You hope that, like Professor Hal's hash browns, they don't all come true. Next month. Quiet season. I haven't really talked to Tangent in a while. Mostly been talking to Anemone, Tammy, and Marzipan. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Hal wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog in the colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Let's make our own list. Tangent is dubious, but agrees to try your idea. The two of you run around the colony yard, taking pictures of all the different vertumnine plants you can find, and making up fake sciencey sounding names for them, like Wonkius shrubbius and Purplius gracium. After an hour, you've categorized 51 different species. Tank doesn't think it's a very complete list or a very scientific method, but she figures you must have learned something. Tangent looks up at the sky and shades her eyes. It's too bright, she complains, and it's too hot, and the nights are cold. Living on the stratospheric meant we never had to experience discomfort. Remind me, why aren't we putting our resources into repairing the ship? Okay, let's do our daily talk with Anemone. Anemone is running around the sports ball court, touching her hand to the ground at each corner. 18, she counts. 19! When she reaches 20, she collapses into the grass and checks her hollow palm. I'm training, she explains. My big bro Cobb says I have to get my legs climatized to the planet if I'm gonna be team captain like him. Okay. Have fun! Dice is hanging out near the south gates, his hands in his pockets, idly staring at the ground and digging the toes of his boots into the dirt. He nods at you, but doesn't say anything. Aww, I want to talk to the little goober. Wait, I'm Goober. I can't be calling other people goobers. I'll get confused. Hal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop in the rocky ground in front of you. Hal falls off, but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Goober. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, that sucks. We all have to adapt. Maybe hoverboards don't work outside? Oh, they totally do, Cal explains. I've been all over the place on this thing. Hovering it outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skateboard. I can't decide what voice I'm gonna give this to. Cool, can I try? Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed going down one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. The suns, they're so warm. Cal lifts his face to the sky, his eyes closed. Well, the blue one is just kind of warm, he continues, but the yellow one is like a heater in the sky. The grow lights on Strato were bright, but never hot like this. It's so nice. Hi, Mom. What you doing? Your mom is hard at work breaking ground for the new fields. Oh. Your dad is poring over some reports on his hollow palm. Oh, hey, little seedling, he says, distracted. Did you know that Watato plants are related to Sniff Blossom? Never would have thought. Okay, let's talk to Tammy. Oh. Marzipan? Hi, Goober, Mars says, looking you up and down with a sneer. Your shoes are gross. That's what you get for walking around in the dirt out there. She sniffs. Not me. I'm sticking to the ship until they pave over all that icky mud. You wonder if maybe she's scared of more than just getting dirty. Maybe. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions are off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. You get the map? What do you want to know about the Prosaic Plains? The Prosaic Plains lie far to the north of the colony, where the higher elevation and natural tilt of the planet makes bromidic snow fall more regularly in every season. Though prone to sudden storm flurries, the plains are a relatively safe place to explore, filled with mostly herbivorous xenofauna. The Valley of Vertigo. The Valley of Vertigo is a low-lying trench to the east that's dense with pollen-producing trees. There's a wide variety of edible food here, both plant and animal products, leading to some of the explorers calling this place the breadbasket of Fortuna. There are a number of animals here that geoponics would be interested in domesticating. The Western Resting Ridge. This tongue-twisting region is the broken spine of the planet, home to both dizzying heights and abyssal lows. It's always hot and arid here, no matter the season. Traversing these steep chasms is dangerous, and only to be done by those with sufficient glider training. However, there are some interesting ruins here to explore. The subaqueous swamp. To the south is a vast, boggy wilderness, home to dangerous animals and hazardous weather conditions. Exploration in this area is only to be done with extreme caution. Okay. View the bestiary. Float cow. Float cow. Xenolevis bovidae. These cumbersome-looking creatures are actually lighter than air due to large helium sacs on dorsal and ventral sides. Careful balancing of helium and urine allows them to control their elevation. They produce a salty, high-protein, milky substance for feeding their young that is also nutritious for humans. Hawkeye. Common hawkeye. Xenophilus monopodus. A communal creature with two disparate sets of eyes and one strong foot used for both locomotion and defense. Though harmless, these small warriors can be fierce in groups. Manticore. Xenophilus tyrannus. Highly intelligent and predatory. Their plumage changes according to the season. Their body is composed almost entirely of dangerous weapons. Do not approach. Okay. I guess I need to go chill out. My stress is pretty high. It's nice to take some time off to chill after all the stress of school and work. Not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. Approach Mars and Dice. Okay, but you do stink, you hear Mars defend herself. It's not my fault that you can't tell. Maybe your nose stopped working, but the rest of us can smell it, and... She waves her hands in front of her nose and makes a PU gesture, then turns to you. He smells awful, right, Goober? Being a bully? Do a sniff test? You make a show of sniffing the air around Dice as he stands uncomfortably still. His clothes are a little dirty, but he smells fine to you. Kind of faintly boyish, like leaves and grass. You tell this to Mars. Leaves and grass? Ew, yes, she says, nodding. That's exactly what I meant. If you think that smells good, you're both hopeless. Negative 100 stress. Ooh, what's wrong, Tammy? You sick? She's looking a little red. Early pollen. Oh, maybe she's just got allergies. What's going on here? Hey, Anemone. Anemone holds her stomach as you approach. Does air here make you feel hungry all the time, or is it just me? She wonders. I feel like I could eat a whole one of them mushroom trees. Just, She mimes shoving a whole giant mushroom in her mouth. Hey, Dice. Dice is sitting on the ground just outside the gate, under the watchful eye of someone working expeditions. I was just as stuck here as we were on the ship, he mumbles, but he doesn't say anything else after that. He is not having a good time, and also Mars is bullying him. Tangent sniffs the air. It stinks out here. Not just one stink either. Every day it's a new stink. Hay smells like... She wrinkles her nose. Like that time the waste reclamation unit broke down. Yuck. You haven't noticed the smell. She sure is sensitive. Or maybe she just likes the stale air inside the ship better. Tammy Zad is the head of Oh, never mind. Cal runs up to you, streaks from foot to neck with purple dirt. There's so much space! Me and Anemone just ran for 20 minutes and we never ran down the same path twice. He leans over and raises his hands on his knees, breathing heavily. Hoo-wee! She's so fast! I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet, Mars says, sighing. Zeke says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and harder working I am than everyone else? He is a character. I found a hefty red Xeno egg. Damn! It's found some shit and I just picked it up? That's not good. I shouldn't be doing that. Mom, Dad, I picked up something strange. It's just in my pocket. You spot your dad looking longingly towards the forest. You ever think about what's out there? He muses. There could be anything. We don't even know. He sighs and leans on his rake, and I'm stuck here, pushing dirt around. And I can never talk to Mom about anything. No, can I give you this? I picked up something. Does no one want it? Friends? I'm pretty close with Tangent already. I got 2 with Mars. Why am I a closer friend with Cal than Anemone, even though I've been talking to Anemone more? Oh, look! How many new people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 16 people we haven't met yet. How exciting. Let's save. Uh-huh. And character tree. Memories. Here? You'll keep adding to your deck as you age and can forget cards by spending time relaxing. You have a limited number of gear slots based on your organization and other skills. Click gear to equip/unequip it. Collectibles that you find while exploring may be given as gifts to friends or used during challenges for one-use bonuses. Oh, like this shit I just picked up? Yeah, that's a collectible. +1 to a card. Change suit to tough. Okay. No one else I can talk to. Okay. Let's go to school. Let's study humanities. There's some sort of emergency in engineering that requires Hal's attention, so today's class will be taught by the ship's artificial intelligence, Congruence. Good morning, Congruence chirps. Today, we're going to talk about the formation of the Vertumna group and our decision to leave Earth. It's a very exciting topic, and we think you're finally ready to hear about it. Let's dig in. You know how it started. Economic and environmental instability, coupled with deeply entrenched hatreds, had thrown the Earth into chaos. You know how it ended. In that chaos, your parents formed the Vertumna group with a plan to leave Earth. 20 years later, they and their star-born children, you, slid through a wormhole and ended up here on a planet you called Vertumna. But there's so much you don't know. Congruence pulls up a hollow projection of an unassuming human with a firm maternal gaze. This is Planktonic Ascendant Wang Botha Schmidt, she says, the spiritual leader of the Vertumna movement. They were what people called a speculative fiction writer. The Vertumna project proved that their writing, though speculative, was far from fiction. Wait, a sci-fi author? Yes, Congruence tells you. Their best-selling novel, Life Beyond the Einstein-Rosen Bridge, told the story of a fictional utopia on the other side of the real-life anomaly at the edge of the solar system. Scientists had been investigating the wormhole for years, but it took a poet to imagine we could travel through it. Wang Botha Schmidt's writings centered around the idea of humanity building a technological utopia on another world. Translated to 100 languages, this was a compelling idea to people at the time, so fans started connecting in vert space. Far from just a book club, these people bonded over mutual aid amid the increasing unrest in their own countries. They were committed to Wang Botha Schmidt's idea of a future where everyone is treated equally without prejudice. But they realized it couldn't be done online, Congruence tells you. Though committed to social justice, the group saw the impossibility of forming a true egalitarian society while also reckoning with their own implicit biases in the diverse context of their real lives. They realized that this was the work of generations and the solutions must look to the future as Wang Botha Schmidt did. So they got together. The image of a squat concrete building with a rooftop garden replaces Wang Botha Schmidt. Around the edges of the classroom, the holo projector gives the impression of towering walls topped with razor wire. The first vtuber colony, congruence tells you. 400 people volunteered to sacrifice their own cultural beliefs to walk through these doors, agreeing to come up with a new way of life that would be taught to their children. Babies were conceived from egg and sperm donors chosen by lottery and raised communally like you as the second generation of the vtuber group. Those babies were your parents. Wait, was this some kind of cult? So they mixed their cultures. The holo projection now shows the compounds under siege. As more colonies were founded, word got out about the vtuber group's social experiments. Congruence continues. Assimilationism was an unpopular ideology at the time because it had been used to commit terrible genocides on Earth. This, combined with panic that the vtuber group was destroying the family unit or raising an army of gene-tech super soldiers, brought the colony under attack from all sides. The cultural assimilation is horrible. In leaving behind inherited traditions, rules, and resentments, the hope is that humanity may be wiped clean of centuries of intergenerational trauma. Congress sounds like she's reciting doctrine. Even the first group of the vtuber group wasn't certain it was possible. You're the beginning of the new beginning. Who knows what you'll be capable of? You get the feeling you're not going to get a nuanced answer from the ship's AI. The image of the burning compound is replaced with the stratospheric on a launch pad. Luckily, the next phase of the vtuber project was ready to launch. 100 colonists were selected to leave Earth on a colony ship to seed a far-flung corner of the universe with a new human culture. She smiles. The ultimate goal of the vtuber group was you, children, she says. A generation raised completely unburdened by troubles that plagued Earth. Isn't that lovely? But how did they build the ship? So nobody on Earth was like us? Those vtuber group members have a unique culture, Congruence replies. But it's formed from a combination of many heritages from Earth. Even the language you speak, Esperanto, was invented to bring people together. And don't worry, Congruence exclaims. You brought your best heritage with you. You're humans. But how did they build the ship? Orbital voyages were a hobby for the ultra-rich in an earlier century, so there were several relics to be found in museums, Congruence replies. The difficulty was not in acquiring a ship, but in making it space-worthy and in the logistics of the launch itself. The group crowdsourced enough funding to purchase and repair the ship, Congruence smiles. As for logistics, well, you are speaking to the solution right now. I was acquired by connected group members, along with the gene tech that created you and your parents. The stratospheric was the first manned vessel to navigate the wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Given the state Earth was in when it left, it may have been the last. What was Earth like when they left? Terrible. Congruence shows you some dire demographics. The institutions that had given people the illusion of safety were torn down and wars were rampant, both resource-based and ideological. Large parts of the Earth were rendered uninhabitable by climate change, pollution, and nuclear war, especially the critical food-growing regions of the world. The vtuber group wasn't the only ones trying to escape Earth, but as far as we know, we are the only success. So much information. Your head is so stuffed with ideas it might burst. Professor Hal and your parents never mentioned this stuff before. They waited to tell you because they wanted you to grow up without feeling different based on your genetic makeup or family history. It's hard to imagine having a different culture than your neighbors. You wonder what it's like. Everyone's celebrating different holidays, eating different foods, speaking different languages. Are you missing out, or are you better without it, like the original colonists believed? It's hard to say, as the decision was made for you long before you were born. All you can do is be the best goober you can be. I'm gonna be the best goober I can be, yeah! Sure. let's do... extra fingers. Man, my extra fingers perk is the best. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows.
Oh, I'm sorry, Goober, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice outside with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows.
You rub your eyes wearily. Ugh, you're having the weirdest dream.
Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seaton is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first. Then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay?
Tammy skips off towards the creche, humming to herself. Go get that free candy! In the cafeteria, Auntie Seaton is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Goober, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. So sweet at first and your mouth puckers. You never tasted anything so sweet and so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets that the kitchen nano printer can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hands. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her hair, you think. Pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give her later. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a hollow game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant of her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what's happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-creased ones. Goober, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this. Oh no, Tammy's dead? They killed Tammy! Oh shit! Oh, how the fuck did that happen? How did she die? She starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon. In the creche. Your classmate, Tammy, has died. You try to understand her words. Tammy? Dead? That's not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy. Pink and fluffy, just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky, dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind blank. Gain status in mourning. Plus 50 stress. Ask what happened. Your mom tells you as simply as possible that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holo projector. It was just an accident. You press her for more, for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you've grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything, you just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you. Sometimes, just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death and you don't know what you're supposed to say or do. You sort of mumble, okay, then get changed and crawl into bed a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off to fitful dreams of that small, sticky red lump of cotton candy. Damn! She's gone! I get to talk to her no more. Tang is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. It shouldn't have happened, she says. What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There's no reason for that hollow protector to break. Professor Hal said it was recently serviced, and nothing was wrong with it before. She gestures angrily. It just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Goober. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Hank still looks lost in thought. Okay. Can you believe Tammy died? Dice asks morbidly.
I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell someone about it.
He lowers his voice.
Tammy got shocked by a broken holo projector. The one in the crèche with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched it, she got chucked all the way across the room.
He makes a ceiling motion with his hand.
Bam! She was dead before she even landed.
Wow, really? Dice looks... Oh! Hi! Oh, what a surprise! Hello, Anna Christie. Hello, Raiders. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Hello, I'm Melody Wisp, an asexually romantic, agender, trans, non-binary, neuroqueer, multiply disabled, and neurodivergent Puerto Rican variety streamer. I'm an accessibility provider and use stenography to write closed and open captions for fellow disabled people. If you want to learn about steno or accessibility, please ask. It's one of my special interests. I'm also an official Humble Bundle and Fanatical partner. Use commands Fanatical and Humble for more information. I'm currently playing, I was a Teenage Exocolonist, which has been very interesting so far. I created my character. They're they, them, just like me. I want to play this so bad. I recommend it. So far, it's been very interesting. You create your character and then you're just launched. Well, actually, you're launched to the story and then you create your character. Currently, we're 10 years old. We're on a different planet. We're, you know, learning, exploring, talking to the other colonists. We have our mom and a dad. And one of the other children just tragically died in an accident. So all the children are currently processing that. They're in mourning. This is one of the children, Dice. They're kind of shy. Kind of dark and gloomy. I've been trying to talk to this dude, but for some reason, we need like other traits. We need to level up or something in order to talk to him more. Currently, he's telling us about how he'd witnessed the other child, Tammy, die. He's just describing it to us. Really morbidly. Dice suddenly looks embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad she's gone. It was nice.
He tugs at the sleeves of his oversized jacket.
But it's kind of a cool way to die.
It's children, they say the darndest things. What do you mean it was a cool way to die?
Man, if I were to die, I wish I would get launched across the room like that. Kind of cool.
This is Anemone. Anemone is chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clangs ringing through the colony.
Stupid planet,
She yells.
stupid crash, stupid spaceship.
She bends down to pick up another rock, but instead just sobs and braces her hands on her knees.
Stupid everything, why'd she have to die? It's not fair. Kids aren't supposed to die.
Aw, poor Anemone. How...
I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel about what happened to Tammy.
Anemone sighs, rolling a sports ball around it with one foot.
It just doesn't feel real. How long till it feels real?
I don't know. Man, they're not dealing with this well. It's really so... It was so sudden. Hal is sitting in your mom's flower garden with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning and probably all of yesterday, too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, I've always giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. At least you finally left your quarters? Oh, that's a weird thing to say. I miss her too.
Me too.
He snuffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are.
Me really too. Tammy always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I pick some for her.
He runs his hands over the pretty white flowers.
Don't tell your mom, okay?
Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink, just stares at the flowers as the tears run down his cheeks. Decide to give him some space. Space? Let's talk to him again. Never mind. Oh, Mars What's going on? How you feeling? Mars is staring into space, looking somber. She doesn't even notice that you come up beside her and barely reacts when you say hello.
I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there in that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun doing nothing. Just being happy.
You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there working on some little craft project, humming to herself. I miss her too.
Now she's dead, Mars says, making a face. How's that fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend?
You don't have an answer. You'd never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before. But of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue.
Oh yeah, Administrator Seek is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs.
She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. Mars fiddles with her bracelet, chunky, misshapen blue beads tied together with string. It looks like something Tammy could have made before. Well, before. Mars doesn't want to talk to you. Hey, Dad. Your dad gives you a hug. Sorry you're feeling blue, Goober, he says. Things will start to look up again soon. Oh, that's not a nickname. I named our character Goober. Your mom pats your shoulder encouragingly.
I'm so sorry, Goober.
I'm too stressed out. Need toughness 10 or greater, or need organizing 10 or greater. Okay. Let's go chill out. Took the month off for mourning. Okay, so what do I want to forget? Wondering. The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead. Or you could get back to work. Tammy who? Sure, attend. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down to be recycled here is one of your chores, but you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times the colonists had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral in Vertumna, the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside, you can see a shrouded figure. Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tony, is here, as well as your parents and Auntie Sedent and the rest of the council. Hal is here with his mom and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Idocott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There is only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues. One of the first humans to be born in space, and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble Earth. She is the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community, we are capable of great strength. Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tony sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tony as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Hal and Uncle Tony hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she'll be responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know that you don't need to be okay, he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. I just realized his hair is trans black colors. You got the blue and the white and the That might not be pink, but it looks pink. That's all that matters to me. Let's go back to school. You feel better just having said goodbye. You didn't really know Tammy that well after all. It's sad that she's dead, but have to move on. Hanjin shoots you a distracted look.
Sorry,
She says,
I'm not really good at cheering people up.
okay. That's all she says.
Hey, Anemone.
Anemone is unusually still today. She's sitting in the dugout of the sports ball pitch, fiddling with an ugly doll with red hair.
Tammy gave me this.
She sighs.
I kinda told her to shove off, cause I don't play with dolls. Why'd I have to be so mean to her?
Okay. Dice?
Sorry.
Dice mumbles. He looks uncomfortable to be around you. Hey, Cal. Cal gives you a sympathetic smile.
Hey, Goober, he says. We'll be okay.
Your dad gives you a hug.
Sorry you're feeling blue, Goober,
He says.
Things will start to look up again soon.
Your mom pats your shoulder encouragingly.
I'm so sorry, Goober.
Okay. Hey, Uncle. You step cautiously through the colony gates.
Goober.
Uncle Tony sighs as he blocks your path. He looks like he hasn't been sleeping.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be out here. Our children are so young and so precious. So fragile. Please stay near the ship.
Hey, Mars. Mars shoots you a sympathetic but distracted smile. Okay. Seems that no one wants to talk to us right now. You've got no stress or worries. 10% chance to get a bonus plus 1 when increasing skills. In mourning, you're mourning the loss of a loved one. All skill increases reduced by 1 for 3 months, and some jobs and actions can't be performed. Aww. Oh well. Go back to school. Let's study life sciences. Oh yeah, we have extra fingers. Isn't that cool? Oh wait, I'm stressed out. I shouldn't have done this. Okay, well, anyway. Oh shit. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that again. That's worse, right? How did this end up worse? Huh? Okay, I got it at 11 now. Oh? Okay, well... Yeah, I should have definitely let Goober rest. I didn't mean to do that.
Goober,
Andrew says, approaching you with purpose.
we need to discuss my brother.
You mean my buddy Dish? Who, Dis?
Yes, Dice, she says impatiently. I need to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and
She trails off and looks at her feet.
Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but well, people are becoming worried.
You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. That's his own business. You tell Tangent that if Dice wanted her to know where he was going, she'd tell her himself. She gives you a complicated look. She's clearly worried about her brother and frustrated that she showed this weakness to you. She composes herself with a blank face.
Maybe you're right,
she says neutrally. Oh, well, I just fucked up my friendship with her a little bit. Anemone is lying in the dirt, sweating and gasping for breath.
It's so hot, she complains. How am I supposed to run in these conditions?
Here, I got something for you.
Cool, thanks, Anemone says, taking the egg. I guess it is my birthday this week. I kind of forgot.
She likes red Xeno eggs. Cool. Anemone. Well, she's already said this to me before. Hey, Cal. Cal looks up at the sky, shading his eyes.
I wonder when it's gonna rain again, he says. The heat doesn't bother me none, but after a while the plants are all gonna get toasty.
I don't have anything. I just gave that to her on a whim. At least she liked it. Dice is hanging out near the south gates, his hands in his pockets, idly staring at the ground and digging the toes of his boots into the dirt. He nods at you, but doesn't say anything. Does this interest you? I don't have anything for him. Does this interest you? And I just give him a box of nothing.
Ugh, I have all these kiddos and nowhere to spend them yet.
Okay. Well, I gotta let my little dude, relax. Let's talk to, Tangent. Tangent is quietly reading her hollow palm. You plop down beside her and ask her what she's reading.
Multicellular biology, she says, frowning at the interruption. If you insist on sitting near me, you could at least do it quietly.
No problem. You open up your hollow palm and find a textbook of old Earth poetry to read. It's never a bad idea to do a little independent study. Though she's a little prickly, you can tell Tang appreciates the company. It's time for Vertumnalia. Utica and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet Vertumna. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Uticot's speech.
In Earth's history,
Utica begins, and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down.
In Earth's history, Vertumna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebears of the Vertumna Project chose to take on such an auspicious name in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Vertumnalia, a midsummer festival to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today.
Clap! Everyone cheers and applauds. +5 loyalty. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to give their own short speeches. Governor Uticott announces each one. When it's your mother Flulu's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown from Vertumnan soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the stratosphere, it would have been mostly soy-based food from the nanoprinter, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing bays. This year, the earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vertumnan plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy watopods and slabs of edible fungi. Uticott takes the stage after everyone in the council has said their piece.
What is a festival without festivities? She asks. Professor Howell and Security Chief Red have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children!
Which one do I join? Competitions are dumb. Talent show. It's an all-singing, all-dancing, all-talent extravaganza.
The entire colony gathers to watch the show up to dinner. First up, Dice plods up to the front of the stage as a pop song starts to play. He just stands there, deadpan, staring into space with his arms at his sides while the singer belts out the first verse. Then as the chorus comes in, he suddenly springs to life, dancing and lip-syncing to the lyrics frantically, waving his arms and grinning maniacally, then collapses back to standing still once the chorus is over. It's hilarious, but you aren't sure you're supposed to be laughing. Next, Mars performs a choreographed dance routine to an old Earth song by an AI idol. Oh, that's not good. An AI idol?
She has light-emitting balls at the end of her hair, which she swings around everywhere in the dim light, while controlling a small floating ball drone who dances with her. It's total overkill, but it is impressive. Your turn. What do you do? A comedy routine, of course, because I'm Goober. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Okay. Okay, next round. Defeated! Your performance is, well, it isn't as good as whatever Mars just did, according to the judges. That was a tough act to beat. Maybe next year. Plus, -50 stress, though. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. Tangent sniffs the air. Anemone is complaining about the heat. Dice does nothing. Dad does nothing. Cal's mom Tara is sitting with Cal against the makeshift fence that surrounds the gardens. Cal looks absolutely shattered, and Tara rubs his back comfortingly. He sees you and musters up a brave smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Hey, Goober. It's good to see you. And Mars? Nothing. Okay. Just says that our shoes are dirty again. Let's learn. Memories. Okay, let's learn. Oh wait, maybe we can like exercise. Yeah, let's play sports ball. Anemone beats you on the court. She's bouncing from one leg to the other in excitement. My brother Calm is organizing the youth team, she tells you. Kombucha offers you a high five in greeting, then tosses a sports ball your way. Let's start with a practice game to see what you're good at. You and Anemone are team captains. Pick your team. Kong will fill in to even up the teams, but he promises to go easy on the other side. Let's choose Mars.
I'll play Spiker.
Mars runs to take position. Seems like she's in it for the glory. Hopefully she'll want to share some of that with the rest of the team. Anemone chooses Kombucha, of course. They bump fists. Your next choice is Cal. Mind if I play goalie? He asks. Sports ball is fun, but it feels mean to score against the other team. You face off, 3-on-3. Start the game. I eat them all. And this. Wow, I won! No skill changes. Cal makes an amazing jump save, but is winded when the ball hits him in the chest. The score is tied, with Anemone and Calm putting the pressure on. Then blam! You score the match point with a rad spike all the way from the net line. Gains memory, playing sports ball. Get to work. You worked well this month. +1 bravery. +2 bravery, +1 toughness, +10 stress. Mid dust. Late dust. So then I trapped it in my room, Anemone says, telling you all about the bug she saw in her quarters. Its wings were as big as my hand, and it had feelers like, wow! It was bouncing all over the place, like boing, boing, boing! She gestures excitedly, swinging her arms over her head. The bugs here are so big, and they're everywhere. I was gonna give it a tang, she says. She loves gross bug stuff, but she said I should just let it go because if I stung me, I might get weird mutant powers. I mean, other than the one I already have, and I wanted to see if I got more weird mutant powers. So I started jumping around off higher and higher things until I was jumping off the back of the ship. And I got in so much trouble, but it wasn't even that high. She stops in her tracks. Hold on, she says, stooping to rub irritably at her knees for probably the 100th time in the past 5 minutes. I'm gonna die! I busted my knees and it's so itchy when the scales grow in. Annie, don't pick at it. Chief Steward Antecedent's voice rings out across the garrison yard, pleasant but firm. It instantly transports you back to being in the ship Kresh, tugging on her skirts and calling her auntie. Anemone jumps and stands up straight, her hands flying to her sides. But Mom, Anemone whines, digging her fingers into her knees as Auntie Seaton approaches you both. It's so scratch-tastically itchy. I know, lovely, Auntie Seaton soothes her, patting down her riotous red hair. But the more you pick at it under her armpits to keep from scratching. What if I want to have cool scales? She pouts. Auntie Seaton smiles indulgently. At the rate you're going, I'm sure you'll be covered in them before you know it. No need to rush. Anemone's skin is dotted with patches of protective blue-green scales that grow in wherever she gets a cut or scrape. She rubs the patch in her jaw indignantly, the one she got when she ran headfirst into the food synthesizer back on the ship. Learns an enemy. Augment. What? Okay. Auntie Seaton opens her satchel and pulls out a bundle of clothes. The queue for the nanoprinter is over a week long, so I patched your pants with scraps from your brother's clothing. Please, try not to put any more holes in them. Or yourself, okay? She hands the clothes to Anemone and kisses her on her forehead. Anemone sticks out her tongue and gags. Yuck. Anemone evaluates the clothes and her mom walks away. Galactic, she breathes as she runs her fingers over the odd-colored patches. Then, right in the middle of the yard, she unashamedly squirms out of her pants and pulls on the new ones. Ah! I look like a fire jet from the Hollows, she exclaims, showing off her new pants. Like when they stencil your kill count on your plane. You should be more careful. Anemone sticks out her tongue at you. You sound like my mom, she teases. Oh, I already read that before. Hey, Cal. You're looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over someone else. one of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded? Hey! They exclaim, ripping the blindfold off their face and throwing it to the ground. It's Cirrus, one of Anemone's brothers. He glares at you.
I was almost done!
Cal jogs over and grabs Cirrus in a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you were so close! Cirrus stamps his feet and complains that you got in its way. It's not their fault, Cal says. They didn't know we were playing a game. Give me a sec, I want to teach them how to play. Cal turns to you as Cirrus leaves. Sorry, Goober, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Cirrus a new game, but he's more like Anemone than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He stoops to pick up the blindfold, brushing off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with different kinds of games other than sports ball, he says. No winners or losers. I just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks at you hopefully. You want to learn how to play? Let me check my schedule. Yes? Cal's smile looks like it's gonna stretch right off his face. Radical, he shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first put on this blindfold. The blindfold is a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hands on your shoulders. I'm gonna spin you around, and when I let go, you gotta listen to my instructions. We're gonna walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You nod. You can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice that he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3. First, Cal says, you gotta walk forward 10 steps. Do you follow Cal's instructions as best you can, or make things difficult for him? Make him work for it. You take 10 large steps, feeling the squelch of dirt under your shoes as you wade into the garden beds. Goober! Cal cries out, you're gonna get me in trouble! You shrug. Okay, next you're gonna take a little bit to the right. You turn a lot bit to the right. No! Cal gasps, but he's definitely laughing now. Come on, Goober, I said a little bit! You tilt your head to the side like you're listening, then spread your arms wide and spin around in circles while Cal howls with laughter. Cal! Goober! A sharp voice cuts through the garden. Oh, Dip, it's your mom. What's gotten into you? She scolds as you sheepishly take off the blindfold. Get out of the garden beds this instant, child, or you will be in so much trouble. Cal looks gutted. I'm so sorry, Auntie, he says, staring at the ground. I was just trying to teach Goober how to play a new game, but I didn't do it good. Speak up. You gonna let him take the fault? Absolutely not. You tell your mom it was your fault. She raises her eyebrow at you. I know, Goober. You're the one I caught trampling the turnips. Both of you, get out of here. Get out of here for the rest of the day, and no more games in the garden. +1 empathy and +1 bravery. Hal squeaks as he grabs your hand and you run out of the garden, away from your mom grousing about the broken plants. When you're far enough away, he turns to you and bursts into giggles. That was wild, he shouts. Thanks, Goober. I really want your mom to like me and let me help out in the garden more. It's my favorite place in the whole colony. You spot your dad lying on the ground in the soft grass, looking up at the sky. He zooms his hand across his field of vision like a spaceship, then looks over with a dreamy smile. Hey, kiddo, he says. Sometimes I can't believe we're back on solid ground. After 20 years in space, it still doesn't feel real. Dice? Oh, you found me. Dice is adjusting better than you expected to life on the surface. He's already found new places to hide and do whatever he does out here by himself.
Oh, hi, Goober. Marzipan looks bored. My dad's made me come out to get some fresh air. Don't know what's so fresh about it. It's always full of acid snow or pollen or water, and I don't know which is worse.
I'm not tough enough. I have 11 out of 100 empathy, 4 out of 100 persuasion, 22 out of 100 creativity, 3 out of 100 bravery, 11 out of 100 problem reasoning, 0 out of 100 organizing. Sounds like me. Engineering, 10 out of 100. Biology, 6 out of 100. Toughness, 4 out of 100. 0 on perception, combat, and animals. guess I can go learn. Let's do humanities again. You're doing creative writing in teams, and you're paired with Mars. You wish it was Tang. She always does so well on these. The theme is Earth's natural environment. Mars takes the topic at face value and wants to write about how beautiful everything was on Earth, with blue skies and green plants everywhere, and huge oceans that went forever. It always looks gorgeous in the carefully staged movies you've seen on HoloVids. Run with Mars's idea. Mars takes the creative part of creative writing literally, describing Earth's lush forests and verdant plains and deep jewel-like oceans with a reverence bordering on the obscene. She's pretty passionate about it, so you let her do most of the work. Mars insists she gets to present it to the class. This, too, is a good idea. Mars is a born presenter. You aren't sure that it's totally based on facts, but it is received well by both your classmates and your teacher. You get a handful of kudos for doing well. Woo! I won! I am so creepy. Early wet. Tangent is watching a construction crew building scaffolding for the new engineering pavilion. They're using mushwood, which is so light that one person can easily lift a 10-meter-long pole and stack it into place. She points toward them.
Human beings are so great, don't you think? Before we landed, this was all just dirty jungle. Now it's civilization. I've been learning about adaptability and writing in biology class. The books say it's what sets us apart from the animals. Like, we don't need fur because we can make warm clothes, and if it's too hot, we can make air conditioners instead.
Do the animals have neat adaptations? Tangent rolls her eyes at you.
Maybe, but even if they do, I haven't seen any sign of intelligent life here. It's just those big, dumb xenofauna.
Some animals here are smart and friendly.
Tang looks skeptical. They're still animals, Goober. Maybe they're just pretending to be nice so you'll feed them. You're lucky it didn't eat you.
She folds her arms.
Dorpus moth look cute, but one can eat through a bag of rice in less than 30 minutes. Even an herbivore can be dangerous here. It doesn't have to want to eat you to be able to hurt you.
Together, you watch as the foreman puts the blueprints for the scaffolding onto the floating screen of her hollow palm and raises it to the scaffolding to check their progress.
I'd like to see an alien do that,
Tang says primly.
Humans look defenseless and weak, but we're the strongest species in the galaxy. Who else can literally bend reality to their will? Not a stupid alien, that's for sure.
She puts one finger to her chin.
I'm living proof that humanity is greater than our biology, he says. All of us are, really, with our genetic enhancements. We're the next step in humanity's evolution from great ape to galactic superspecies.
I don't like what you're saying. It's kind of eugenicsy, right? It's not right. Hey, stop that. Stop. Hey. An enemy runs up to you. Hi, Goober! She huffs, catching her breath. She grins.
On the ship, adults are saying no running, Anemone. No running. But outside, there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction. Even more after the roboplows clear the land for farms.
Okay, cutie. Hey, cow. Never mind. Hey, Dice. It's pouring rain and everyone's trying to stay dry under the grass-roofed palapas. Everyone except Dice. Off in the distance, over at the wall near the sports ball field. Definitely sulking. Tell someone? Just ignore him. You tell Security Chief Red that you saw Dice up to no good around behind the garrison. He's too distracted trying to put buckets under various leaks in the roofs to pay you much attention.
Thank you, Goober. I'll check it out later, he says, waving you off. If there's a danger to the colony, one of the lookouts will catch it.
You're not so sure. You know Dice. He's very good at hiding when he doesn't want to be found. Dice is listening to his hear speak, completely ignoring you. You put yourself in his field of vision and he scowls. What do you want? Leave me alone. Ooh. I picked up something. Never mind. Hey, Dad. Nothing. Hey. Nothing? Nothing else? Oh, have I talked to Mars yet? Nothing. You each pick a native Vertumnan keystone species and prepare an hour-long presentation to the class. You pick the float cow. Hal is excited. He was going to choose the float cow too. You end up working together on a slightly longer presentation, which is Cal time to describe in gory detail of the float cow births he's attended. Class is fascinated. Hey? Damn it. Oh! I have no clue what I'm doing. It's just like things happen. Increasing from left to right. Oh, okay. The more cards in a flush, player, or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Okay. Okay, so was 0, 1, 2. Okay, that's why. Okay. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Okay. Win. You're having a terrifying familiar dream. A monster crashing through the walls. Unfathomably large, every part of it wriggling and moving and searching for something. It tramples through the colony as you watch helplessly. Time shifts to the wreckage of your home. You're picking through it, looking for something. Tears streaking down your dust-covered face as you lift heavy pieces of debris, searching. You wake up shouting, "No!" But your voice is drowned out by a deafening rumble from the skies outside. The bedroom room is covered in water? It's pouring down from the clouds. Yes, this must be rain, but you've never experienced it before. There's a bright flash from outside, then another crack and a rumble. Thunder! It must be a thunderstorm. It's still the early hours of the morning. You've already almost forgotten your bad dream, but you're too unsettled to go back to sleep yet. The rain beats down on the roof of your quarters, joined now and then with great peals of thunder like the footsteps of an angry beast. Go to your parents for comfort. Your dad is awake too, watching the rain from the large porthole in the kitchenette. He gives you a hug and you gaze out together. "This is good," he says quietly. "It means we'll have plenty of water from the crops. Pure, healthy water, just like on Earth. Everything's going to be okay, my little potato." You hug your dad tight and hope he's right. Hey, Tangent. She likes biology, right? Give it to her. Thing shrugs. Should probably just keep it. I don't even know what I do with it. When he insists she keep it, she shrugs again. Sure, maybe they'll find a use for it. Damn, she didn't even like it. Fuck. What a waste. Hal is scratching a stick listlessly in the dirt, seemingly uninterested in your presence until you get right into his face. Oh, hey, Goober. Oh! Another raid! Hi, Aurum! No, not an ad! Oh my god, did y'all get hit with an ad? Hi! Hopefully, no one got hit with the ad that just started immediately after the raid happened. Right to ads! Fuck! Okay, I'll wait the 90 seconds. How unfortunate. Ah! You're in ad jail. No! Everyone's in ad jail today. I'll just do this. I'll just look to see if anyone wants to talk. Oh, Dad said something different. I'm waiting for the ad to end. What is this? Oh, my 14 kudos. Whoa, it's 999? Okay, ad break is finishing now. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. Sorry, Aurum. How y'all doing? Having a pretty fun time with this game. If anyone stuck around after the ad break, I really appreciate it. So the rundown for this game is, so we are a child. I name us Goober. We use they them pronouns. We have blue hair, of course, and we're on an alien planet with our family. We're all colonists. Just, you know, learning, exploring, creating a civilization on this alien planet. We got some friends. We got Tangent here. We got Anemone. We're all like genetically enhanced. I have extra fingers. That's so on brand. I was also playing a game where you're an alien. That's great. But we're humans. But we're just on an alien planet. This is Dice. This is Cal. This is Daddy and Mommy. Honestly, not much has really happened yet, besides one of our other children friends, Tammy. She tragically died in an accident. Everyone's still a little bit in mourning. I think we're still 10 years old. And I'm just like developing skills, going through the story. This is also a deck builder. So we're also like, we collect memories from life experiences, and then we play like a card game at the end. This is Marzipan. Mars scowls from under the protection of a transparent umbrella. Absolutely not, she pouts. Do not even ask me to do anything. If my hair gets wet, you're soy meat. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dad said something different. Can I get it again? Your dad takes a big breath of air.
This is real living, he stands grandly. Sometimes I wake up thinking we're still hurtling through space in the strato, and I'm just so jazzed when I remember we're here, on a real planet. He slaps me on the back. Never take this for granted, kiddo.
Okay. We're not that stressed out, so let's learn again. Study humanities. Hal has been called away for a council meeting today, so Congruence is filling in. She tells you that today you'll be learning about the history of capitalism on Earth. Oh, capitalism, huh? Fun.
You mean why humans used to have nice things and now we just eat mashed trippet and soy cakes? Mars said smugly. Please. Earth humans might have messed everything up, but at least they had style. Ever patient, Congruence ignores Mars's contribution and projects a holovid into the classroom. A solemn woman in weird clothes identifies herself as Haven Constance Odenheim, an educational designer for the Vertumna group, and tells you that the following experience has been created specifically to teach you, the third generation of the group, about the largest contributing factor in Earth's destruction, capitalism. You and the other students exchange worried looks. You spend the day in an interactive experience that covers the history of capitalism, from market feudalism to its transition to colonialism, then its major phases like industrialization, mass production, and corporatism. It ends with a discussion of how it collapsed in the late 21st century as wealth inequality and environmental concerns finally weakened its hegemony, along with the planet itself. Hey bud, saw you were playing this game, love this game, so much fun. Hard to get a good ending though. Oh, that's sad. Hello, Silverdy Fang. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm only 2 hours into the game so far. Having a lot of fun. Unexpected. Was not expecting for the way that it started and for the way it's progressing so far. Pretty interesting.
It's just more weird cult stuff.
The educational experience tells you that, despite being regarded by many as simply an economic system, capitalism had been responsible for more violence on Earth than any active war. From its very beginning, since the colonial powers spread mercantilism across the globe, it required a constant supply of people to exploit through any means necessary. It took centuries for people to realize how horrible capitalism was, once people could no longer hide from its racist, colonialist history. It goes into some fun storylines. Ooh. Encouraging. I was told that this game's gonna make me cry. I'm still waiting for the tears to start. Better not disappoint. I better be sobbing. You're partway through the lesson when Cal realizes the parallels.
But we live in a colony, don't we? Aren't we colonizing Vertumna? Isn't that wrong?
Of course not, dummy, Mars reasons. There aren't any people here to take the land from. Just a bunch of animals.
Let's kill all the dumb animals. You will cry if he gets into the characters. Oh. Oh no. The tears will start once. Once they start, they will never end. Oh. Animals count too. Cal nods in agreement, but Mars is not impressed. I squashed a Dorb's moth the other day, she retorts. Are you gonna put me in future jail for money crimes? Yikes, Goober. You should just lock yourself in your room if you're so worried about hurting the environment. Tangent watches this exchange silently, but turns her head and doesn't meet your eye when you look at her. Oh my god! What's wrong? What? Why is she doing this? What? Why is she acting like this? What did I do? Set neighbors to this value. Shit. 2, 1. Oh yeah! We're a little more stressed out. Hella creative though. Hey, Tangent. Never mind. Hey, Anemone. Cal? Dad? Call me a gooseberry again. Double dirt? I don't want to work yet. I'm a kid. I'm gonna run wild. By that I mean stay indoors and study humanities. You learn that the language you speak, Esperanto, is a conlang, or constructed language. Oh no, autism is glitching again. My bad. Let me fix that. Autism, no. I don't know what happened. Autism fist bump. Hell yeah. Unfortunately, it's broken. Let me move this out of the way so that people don't get hurt looking at it. I need to fix that again. It was designed to be easy for foreign speakers, at least European ones, to learn in the hope that it would bring people together. The word Esperanto means one who hopes. Okay. We did it again, folks. I hate to raid and run, but I gotta get ready for bed since I got work in the morning. I always assume people just like when they raid, they immediately leave. I always assume that, so it's okay. Have a good rest. The days have been getting shorter, with only the yellow sun barely skimming the horizon. One morning, you wake in the darkness and have to check your holopalm to know what time it is. You see a holostream from Mars. Good morning to all my pals, if you can even call it morning. They named it glow season because, like, everything is crazy glowing out there in the dark. I am sticking the heck inside for the next month. What's the point in even going out if you can't see anything? It's going to be a long, boring month. Yeah, hella dull. You give Mars' stream a thumbs up and peek out the window. The wormhole looks huge out there, and everything is spooky and glowing. No Peruni, that's way sketch. You'll be staying close to your quarters, thanks. After Mars' message is a notice from the council warning everyone to stay safe inside. Tammy's dad and the other surveyors have been called back and the gates closed for the month. There's a tension in the air, as if everyone is waiting for something. Okay, let's see if autism is okay now. Nope. It is not. Hello? New perk. Creativity level 1. Shop closed. New cards in the depot. Ooh. Oh, it is looking nice out here. I like this. Pretty. Hey, Anemone. Hey, Mom. Goober, your mom stops you as you walk by. What are you doing out of our quarters? It isn't safe out here. I was just heading back, but I'm going to school. She nods with grudging approval. Fair enough, she replies. Stay close to the stratosphere, got it? You don't know what's out there this time of year. As you walk away and are just out of earshot, you hear her mumble. Stars, it is beautiful, though. Screw that, Mom. Mars must be inside. Can't talk to her. Ooh. Cha-ching, am I right? Okay. Hey, Dice. Dice is staring off into the wilderness outside the gates.
Feels different, he mumbles. Don't know how, just different.
You ask him what he means, but he just shakes his head and stuffs his hands in his pockets. What do you know, Dice? You were saying something strange, something a little morbid, something suspicious. Like you got some knowledge in you, some wisdom. You're way too scared to go outside during glow season. And besides, the gates are closed. How much bravery do I need for that? Toughness. Need 20 toughness or greater. Or 20 or greater bravery. Okay. Let's study life sciences. For today's lesson, Professor Hal tells you, we'll start with a fun group project. You'll be studying the musk tree, a prominent natural resource native to Vertumna. In the ideal conditions, it can grow at a speed of over 1 meter a day and have a diameter of up to 30 centimeters. He stands on his tiptoes and gestures to illustrate. Your team will experiment to find those ideal conditions. You're teamed up with Tang and Cal and are given a musk tree spore and a bucket to grow it in. The rest is up to you. Tang looks up surveyor's notes on the holonet.
Musk trees, she reads, are most abundant south of the colony in the stormy moist regions of the subaqueous swamp.
What if we use water instead of soil? Cal suggests, like they do with hydroponics? Tang nods.
If they like wet weather, that might work. Goober, do you have any suggestions?
Lower the water's pH? Sing to it daily. Tang protests, saying talking and singing to plants is foolish and unscientific. But Professor Hal reminds you that we don't know everything about Vertumnan plants yet, and nobody has proved it doesn't work on musk trees. He gives you his blessing. Every day you rush into the classroom to check on its progress. You and Cal sing quietly to it. Tang flatly refuses to join in. By midweek, it has sprouted, and if you look very closely, you think you can actually see it growing while you watch. By the end of the week, yours is one of the biggest musk trees in the class. But one other group also tried Cal's water idea, and theirs is the same height as yours. How they did that without singing? Okay, oh, shoot. Well, I stole one. Guess, should chill out. It's daytime when the emergency sirens start up. Well, what passes for day. It's still nearly pitch black except for an eerie green twilight glow in the horizon. You look toward the gates. They're open. Wait, they shouldn't be open. The alert blares out of every speaker in the colony. It's the same one you used for hull breaches and fires. And in space, it meant you were supposed to go to the nearest emergency shaft and put on a spacesuit. On Vertumna, it means go to an assembly point and wait for instructions. The closest assembly point is the children's creche, but from the opposite direction, you hear shouting and loud popping noises. Gunfire! Is the colony under attack? I don't have enough bravery for that. So hide in the creche. You find Dice in the creche and join him in hiding under the arts and crafts table. The lights are dim.
You scared?
He asks quietly. Of course I'm scared. Dice shrugs.
I thought I would be, but I'm not, he says. I'm not scared of stuff like this.
You can't help but glance at the holoprojector on the wall, the one they electrocuted your classmate Tammy earlier this year. The glowing bear looms over the room, and for a moment looks more like a monster than a toy.
You grew up here. It feels weird to be hiding here like you're just little kids again. You hear more gunfire and yelling. Within half an hour, they play the all-clear tone. Chief Surveyor Toning comes in to let you know it's all safe now as the lights come back on. You glance at the hologram teddy bear again. Toning was Tammy's dad. How can he be sure it's safe? How can he be sure anything is safe? You're relieved when your parents arrive with an ashen-faced Cal. They won't talk about what happened at geoponics. After 2 weeks of darkness with the blue sun barely skimming the horizon, it begins to move higher in the sky and daytime returns. The council admits they don't know how the gates were opened, or how the creatures got in. Some of the attacking creatures were once thought to be docile. Others were species nobody had seen before. It was like something had driven them to assault the colony. At least nobody was killed this time. Ooh. Childhood is fleeting. The game will end when you reach age 20, so you should focus on a few skills to improve and friends to spend time with. Use the skills and friends buttons at the top left of the screen to keep track of them. Good luck! I'm very creative and persuasive. Tangent is standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheeks. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, she says. This is made of acid. Acid snow? Hang nods. Professor Hal says it isn't harmful, and it's an important part of the natural cycle here. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some of the flakes fall on it. It tastes kind of sour, but sweet, she observes. Fascinating. Tang pulls a sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, and places the jar on an outcropping of rocks. The bag of mushrooms changed in shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder, is there some sort of signal that precedes the changing of the seasons? What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season? A small, excited smile creeps across Tang's face. There's so much to learn about this planet. Can't wait. I'm busy saving the colony, Tang says, brushing past you. What are you doing? Anemone holds her palms up to you excitedly. Goober, look! Her palms are covered with a collection of scrapes and blue flaky scales. I'm getting tougher every day! Dice sits before a collection of rocks grouped by color and texture. As you watch, he takes another rock from his pockets and stacks it with his kin. He looks up at you. What? He says flatly. Never seen rocks before? Want this? It's a crystal cluster. You seem to like rocks. Thank you, Dice says, clearly unsure about how to react. I'll, find something to do with it. Well, okay. Doesn't really like it. Wow, you're getting big. Hal is scrubbing his hand to the water barrel, trying unsuccessfully to get all the dirt out from under his fingernails. It looks like a lost cause. Cal's hands have been dirt-stained probably since you landed here. Stupid, Cal mutters. Stupid. He jerks his hands out of the water and holds them to his face, and you hear him sob. Why did they have to... Not fair. We didn't do anything to them. He wipes his eyes and startles when he sees you. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there, he says. I was just, washing my hands. Okay. Cal is leaning on the garden fence looking out at the colony. The attack was awful, he says quietly. I did something I'm not proud of. Still got hurt. He sniffles and rubs his face. All the adults tell me that it's okay because I had to do it. That I was brave and I protected the colony. But I don't want to hurt anything. Not even a monster. So what I'm gathering from this is that he killed one of the monsters. Okay. Hey, Dad. You're looking a little worn out, my little firefly.
Your dad greets you, looking concerned.
You know, despite what your mom might say, there is such a thing as too much work. Maybe some R&R over in the lounge would help recharge those solar cells. What do you say?
Maybe I just need a hug.
Your dad throws his arms wide. Well, get in here, Tiger Butter!
After a long hug, you do feel a little better. Your dad gives incredible hugs. Tiger Butter is so funny. Mars yawns as you approach, making no attempt to hide it.
It's so boring here. I just watch holovids all day and all night. Why would I bother sleeping? It's not like I need to save my energy for anything.
She sighs.
I wish I were in a holovid. Maybe something interesting would happen.
Yeah, gotta go chill out. You nestle in the cushions, close your eyes, and listen to music. You have an archive of over 100 years of music to choose from, but still, you wonder what new songs are writing these days, 10 million light years away on Earth. The only new music you've heard is when the adults have come up with a new space shanty. It's nice. Good music for harmonizing with your friends as you work. But it's not really something you want in your ears all the time. What do I want to forget? Discovering. So much has happened in the last month since the monster attacked during Glow. The idea of this planet as a peaceful utopia has been shattered. The security squads are training new members and keeping close watch on the gates now. They're reinforcing the walls and even installing a few robotic turrets. In class, you have drills on what to do if the colony is attacked again. In all the excitement, you forgot today was your birthday. My birthday isn't today. Not looking forward to it. Your parents haven't... Wait. Almost one day. Your parents haven't forgotten. They wake you up early with enthusiastic shouts of surprise! A Vertumnan year is only a little longer than a year on Earth, so you've taken up his calendar for birthdays. Yours is in the second month of quiet. Spark snows drift slowly past your porthole window as you snuggle with your dad. Your mom climbs up too and sits on the edge of your bed. Your dad pulls a pull of fruit from behind his back with a flourish, like a magic trick. At least, you think it's fruit. Are those?
Bobber fruit, your dad grins. The foragers have been picking these just outside the walls. They might look funny, but they're tasty. Try one.
You take a cautious bite. The pulp is soft and tastes a bit like lemon, only more blue.
I bet you can't wait to join the surveyors out there, your dad says wistfully. Who knows what else you'll find?
Goober is not allowed outside the gates,
your mom interrupts, her voice sharp.
It's too dangerous for kids.
Well, I know, but eventually,
your dad says, but your mom cuts him off again.
But not now, your mom replies. Not since the attack. Not with everything we know is out there now.
You know about the monsters, admit it. Your parents exchange a heavy look.
The surveyors knew there was something dangerous out there we hadn't encountered yet,
your mom admits after a guilty silence.
We didn't know it would attack the colony. We thought if we closed the gates and stayed inside, it wouldn't see us as a threat.
We didn't want to scare everyone,
your dad adds.
It was just a precaution.
Even still, your mom says, it's clear that everyone should know how to defend themselves if it happens again.
To be clear, this includes knowing when to run away,
your dad adds.
Security Chief Rhett's offering self-defense lessons at the garrison, you know, even for kids. If you're interested, you should drop in sometime.
Your mom gives you a stern look.
And I've heard stories of kids sneaking outside the walls, she says grimly. If I catch you doing that, I'm going to put a chip in your ear.
You laugh. What a good joke. Your mom doesn't laugh. I'll do what I want. This argument does not win you any favors with your mother. I'll die if I want to. Big deal. Mars is leaning over a hollow screen, chin in hand. She exhales and blows a piece of hair out of her eyes.
I hate schoolwork, she says, but my dad's told me that a good education is necessary for all people of culture, so I guess I gotta do it.
She scrolls listlessly through her work with one finger.
I'm doing the science parts last, though.
Here, you want this? Mars takes it from you without really looking at it.
Thanks.
Anemone? Nope. Okay. Dice? And work with the animals. What the hell? Okay, well. Let's, do humanities. You're bringing supplies to medbay when you see something unusual. Tangent curled up on a bench, her head pillowed on a rolled-up lab coat. She's fast asleep. You stop and stare. You never see Tang sleeping. She's always so busy. You're surprised she even has time to nap. You turn to leave her in peace when you bump into Anemone.
Wow, Anemone says. She hardly ever sleeps. Like, just a couple of hours a night. Is she sick or something?
You look back at Tangent, snoozing peacefully.
I'm so jealous of her genetic enhancement,
Anemone says, rubbing at one of the scales sprouting on her jawline.
She hardly needs to sleep at all. She's probably staying up all night studying for this morning's history test.
There was a test?
Me, I flunked it,
Anemone says, matter-of-factly.
No biggie, though. If I didn't have to sleep, I'd probably play games instead of studying anyway.
Tang's hollow palm beeps a soft alarm. She sits up and stretches, looking totally refreshed and alert. She sees you watching her and looks annoyed.
Just a power nap, she says. No reason to gawk.
God, I'm jealous too. As you get older, challenges can have conditions. The challenge suit, social, mental, or physical, determines what conditions can appear and which decks will work best. Try to collect social yellow cards if you want to win battles for social skills. Okay. Whoa, I already won? How do I get rid of this card? Oh. Hey! Always busy. Anemone is running around the sports ball pitch.
Cobb says the most important part of defense training is knowing when to run away, she huffs as she runs past. Good thing I'm so good at running!
You don't see dice at first, but you do hear rustling followed by the screech of metal on metal. After a few minutes of looking, you spot Dice placing large rocks in front of a piece of corrugated metal leaning against the wall. He stops and looks at you.
You didn't see anything,
he says, going back to cover up his tracks. Huh. You learned at a young age not to sneak up on your mom. She's jumpy and gets kind of mean if someone surprises her. That's just how she's always been, and you never questioned it. You always make sure to walk a little more heavy when she hasn't noticed you yet. Okay. Let's, study life sciences. This week in biology class, you're learning about predators and prey. Professor Hal brings up a picture of a Hopeye on the holoprojector and asks,
"Who can tell me what special thing Hopeyes do when they see a predator?"
Tang's hand shoots up.
They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a Hopeye.
Hal nods.
That's true, but not what I was getting at.
Tang stammers and looks upset, like she can't believe she got something wrong. Hal scans the glass again.
Anyone else? Goober?
They fly away? You stammer after being put on the spot and say the first thing that comes to mind.
That might work, Hal smiles, but Hopeyes don't have wings.
He gestures to the picture of one right in front of you on the holoprojector. Still pretty dumb.
They thump their feet to warn other Hopeyes in the area. Then they hop away very quickly.
You look over to see Tang smirking at you. You both got it wrong, but she still thinks she's better than you. Whoa! Oh, because it's 2-1. I get it. Wing. Oh, good, Tang says, barely looking up from her microscope.
Another thick gold cream coming to interrupt my work. What do you want?
Dude, why are you so mean? For no kind of reason, too. What did I do to you? Anemone holds her palms up to you excitedly. Oh, never mind. You already said that to me. Hal is kneeling in the dirt, carefully planting pieces of potato.
When I was a kid, I thought everything grew from chopped up pieces of bigger things. I mean, that's how it works for potatoes and onions.
He sits back on his heels, a funny look on his face.
I guess I must have never thought about how babies are made, huh?
You meet your dad adjusting a watering pot in your mom's flower garden. He's having a sneezing fit, his eyes runny and red. You're alarmed. You've never seen him look sick before. People were hardly ever ill in the stratospheric, except sometimes when the zero-G rooms made them queasy.
Not to worry, my little beanstalk, he says nasally. I'll be fine. It's just this pollen making my head a little stuffy.
He wipes his nose with a handkerchief and looks around. Everywhere you turn, the air is soupy and tinged with pink from all the floating pollen.
On Earth,
Your dad says,
we used to call this hay fever.
Even though it had nothing to do with hay.
Your mom cuts in, carrying a large bouquet of flowers.
The native flowers seem to be in full bloom this time of year.
She buries her nose deep in them.
And they smell fantastic.
Your dad smiles kindly and agrees that they sure are beautiful. Then he blows his nose loudly. Tell them you're scared of the pollen. I'm so scared. Your mom sighs.
Goober, life in Vertumna is going to be very hard if you let yourself be afraid of everything.
Your dad cuts in.
It's okay, kiddo. It's just how plants reproduce. The pollen might make your eyes itch, but you'll be fine.
Your dad's eyes look so sad, but maybe that's just the allergies.
Hey, Goober. I know the last few weeks have been very hard for you. This might be a good time to relax and stick around in the quarters wing.
You spot Mars tapping away at a hollow screen. She appears to be trying different clothing options on a digital doll maker.
Look, Goober,
she says, showing her work.
You can look like anything you want. I always thought I would look good with, like, horns, maybe.
She hums.
Maybe I can ask engineering about it.
I mean, if you want. Get you some horns. Maybe a tail? Look like a devil. Let's do engineering. Using Congruence's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test on its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. You're now eligible to join Tangent and some of the older students in engineering classes. And now, Let's study engineering. Professor Hal rubs his hands together as he waits for the class to settle down. He's in a great mood. This must be his favorite subject to teach.
If biology and chemistry are the wet sciences, then engineering must be a dry one. But believe me, this class definitely won't be dry.
He winks. It's weird.
We'll also be learning math, physics, computing, robotics, architecture, and astronomy.
Tangent raises her hand. Will we also learn about nuclear engineering? She asks. Professor Hal nods.
Yes, at a beginner level. We'll have an overview of atomic theory and take a field trip to the engine room to learn how our ship's nuclear reactor works to power the colony.
Cool. Win! I did so good that time. Okay. You don't want to talk. Anemone's just getting tougher every day. Dice is perched up on a big rock, silently watching the forest. He barely moves as you approach.
The longer you look, the more you see, he says cryptically. Oh, the scariest child.
Here, you want this?
Wow.
Dice is uncharacteristically excited about the roots.
They're so colorful. I've never seen roots like these before. What plant are those from?
Hey, he liked it! +2! Hal is scooting an empty wheelbarrow through the gardens.
Beep beep! He cheers. I'm a garden bot! Get out of my way!
He pulls up beside you and laughs.
Hey Goober, what's happening?
Your dad sneezes and wipes his nose with a handkerchief.
Whew, this pollen, he says, voice thick with congestion. Some days I'm gonna get used to it.
Let's do something fun. Oh wait, let me go talk to Mars first. Mars is watching her holoscreen intently. She shushes you before you can get a word in. They're about to kiss! Mars hisses, barely giving you a second look. Let's shuffle some dirt. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy!
Good morning, Goober. Looks like you're working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my kid.
She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another.
Get comfortable with this,
she says, pushing a squeaky old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you.
Now, any questions before you start moving that dirt?
Why not use hydroponics?
On this ship, we grew most of our plants with their roots in the water, and it's true it was more hygienic that way,
your mom replies. She brushes an insect off her arm, which lets out a loud squeak of objection.
But hydroponic systems use too much energy. Here, we have to grow as much as we can the old-fashioned way.
Don't we have machines for this?
The construction crews already claimed all the hover lifts, she says, shrugging. But they'll break down in a few years anyway, and we don't have the materials to fix them.
She grips your forearm.
We're planet-side now. Use your muscles. Nature's hydraulic pistons.
Where do I move it again?
From over there,
she points to a dirt pile,
to there.
She points to an identical pile 10 meters away. He sees your confusion.
We had some very precious soil from Earth on the ship, full of all the nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost, she says. She sighs. In an accident. And we had to make more from scratch using bitumen and soil. This is part of the process.
Let's get to work.
That's my kid,
your mom says, slapping on the back. You stumble a little. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. The hell? I'm so tough now. You're finishing breakfast in the common area when Marzipan struts in.
Look at you, eating cereal, she says, turning her nose up at you. I'll bet you don't even know what day today is.
You're right, I don't know. Your birthday?
No, you dummy, she exclaims, swatting your shoulder. My birthday is in the first month of wet season. You better remember that. Today, she announces to the room, it's St. Valentine's Day.
Dice and Cal wander over to hear more.
Back on Earth, Mars explains, it was a day when everybody had to give their best friend a gift, especially sweets. And then you put the sweets under your pillow, and it makes you dream about who you're going to marry. And there are decorations of hearts and arrows and pigs.
Cal laughs. Pigs? We don't even have pigs here. Before Mars can answer, Dice snorts.
This is dumb. Marzipan just made it up to get free candy.
He rolls his eyes and walks away.
As he leaves, Mars shouts at his back, well, nobody was going to pick you anyway. You stink.
I know who my best friend will be. Mars bats her eyes jokingly.
Oh, really? Who could it be? She asks playfully. I'm going to tell all the other kids about it, Mars says. So you go around and find your best friend and give them a gift.
She points her finger at you.
Make sure you do it by the end of the day or it doesn't count. And if too many people want to be my best friend, she adds, I'll hold tryouts for the position. It's only fair.
She tosses her hair over her shoulder and laughs. Okay. Hal is standing on top of a bluff, carefully pouring a bucket of water down the dirt on one side. He's covered in mud. Hey, check out my mudslide, he exclaims. He grabs a piece of sheet metal and slides down the dirt pile like he's riding a surfboard. Mud goes everywhere. He jogs back up and hands you the sheet of metal. You try it now. Okay. You make it down without bailing, but get mud splattered all over your legs. It is pretty fun though, like a hoverboard, but crunchier. I think I'm done for now. Okay, Cal says. You can come back whenever and use the mudslide. I don't mind. I'll be here. Hey, wanna be best friends? You find Dice watching the jungle through a gap in the fence, kicking the dirt with his toe. He's quiet when you walk up. He must be in one of his moods. Watch with him. You sit and watch the jungle with him for a while. You ask if he's ever been on the other side of the fence. Dice nods quietly.
A few times, yeah. There's a way through behind the garrison building.
You both sit in silence again for a long while, until he breaks it by saying,
It's really nice out there.
Wanna be best friends to annoy Mars? You explain that of course you aren't taking it seriously, you just think it would be funny. He looks at you and shrugs.
Sure, I guess,
he says, then looks back out at the forest.
It is kind of funny. It's a stupid thing anyway.
Anemone huffs as she runs up to you and doubles over, bracing her hands on her knees.
I'm going for the Bantam Division distance record at this year's Vertumnalia.
Okay. Mars is in a huff. Ah, because you didn't pick her for Valentine's Day? Seems like nobody picked her. She crashes her arms and scowls at you.
I can't believe you chose Dice over me? Whatever, Mars mutters, tossing her hair. I'm just too mature for kids my age. The older kids get me, even if you don't.
It's okay. Let's, study engineering again. Hi, kids. The ship's onboard intelligence, Congruence, glides into the room on her ceiling track. And the class cheers. Congruence is so cool. She's like a person, but also a machine. She knows a lot of jokes and can tell you anything about space. She never gets bored or frustrated by your questions. You all know me, she says. But I'll bet some of you have questions about how I work. What do you want to know? How do you know so many things? My brain is big, she explains. It's just enormous, really. Much bigger than this little monitor you see. And it's connected to the ship's HoloNet. So anything you can look up on your hollow palms, I just know. What's your job?
Hello, Silverty Fang.
Welcome back. Thank you for the raid. Pirate raid. Arrgh. I think I might add in... Oh, thank you for the follow. I think I might add 30 minutes the timer, actually, because, you know, I actually don't want to stop playing this game. How far have I gone? Silver rating how to avoid punishment. Hello, Blue Fox Overlord and Brime VT. So far I'm in, we are 11 years old. Let's see. Tammy has died. There was, some creatures broke in through the gates or something. There was Valentine's Day. We just finished Valentine's Day. I picked Dice instead of Mars because I want Dice's knowledge. He seems to know a lot of shit that no one knows. Did some pay the... Oh, so there was a wheel? Okay, let me add like 30 minutes to the timer. $32 minutes. Oh, whoops. There. Okay. I just want to learn more. We are in engineering, learning engineering. What is going on with my redeems? Thank you for the hydrate. I was about to pick up my gallon of water, so that was great timing. I don't know what's going on with my redeems. I'll have to fix them. Oh, my pigment isn't working. Yeah, there's something wrong with my redeem. My pigment! The hell? I don't know what's going on. Try to say this in Japanese. Hope you're getting the food you need to eat. How do I... You broke the stream? I'll fix that some other time. Let me just move this off because I don't want people to get a seizure looking at that. Okay, let's see. How would I say that? Usually people just ask for like simple words. Getting the food you need to eat? I have no clue. I could try and like... Too much? Yeah, my Japanese isn't that good. No, senses are allowed. This is a challenge, is what I'm saying. You challenged me. I guess I can try and use Deep L. I guess I can say, I hope you're getting food. What? That doesn't seem right. Hope you're getting food. 食事は取れているかな? Okay. I'm working on my pitch accent. I'm so fluent. 日本語上手. Okay. Let's see what else happens in the game. シルバー、食べなきゃいけないご飯を取りに行った?食べなきゃいけないご飯を取りに行った? Like I said, my pitch accent is not good. Oh, what's your job? Well, right now, part of me is showing animal videos to children in the creche, and part of me is here teaching you, but most of me is monitoring the engines which give us power. And the life support systems that make it comfortable in here. It's better than mine, which does not exist. It's tough. I found a guide on pitch accent like a week ago, and I've been trying to incorporate it, but oof. It's like I just have a hard time with pitch in general with my voice. But I've been going through my kanji memorization, and I have so many reviews. I started with 1,300. Dogen has a YouTube channel. Yeah, I think the pitch accent guide I was looking at actually linked to Dogen's channel. That was like, this is a really good guide on pitch accents. So I'll probably click into it one day. Night, bud. Night, night. Thank you for the raid. Okay. I have 800 reviews. Kanji reviews. I get through like 300 a day, and they just keep piling up. Do you have to eat and poop? She laughs, which has never sounded quite the same as a real person's laugh to you. I guess you could say I eat electricity, but not in the same way you get energy from food. But no, I have never pooped. I think it sounds kind of neat, actually. Kanji? Yeah. Congruence explains that she had to do all kinds of calculations to help fly the ship and land it, and that she was designed to provide a user-friendly interface to the ship's systems. But Hal has modded me to be far more than that, she says proudly. Now, I can even tell jokes. Why did the computer cross the road? She asks. Just listen. Congruence smiles widely. And then she hits me with the binary. Thank you for the lurk. And then oh yeah! Look at that. Sweet. Early dust. You need a break soon? Oh yeah. Absolutely do. Get a break soon, huh? You find your mom inspecting the irrigation system. When it's hot like this, a failure in the irrigation system could mean we lose an entire field, she says, wrapping some adhesive tape around a joint. It's just too precious to leave to chance. Hello, Dice. I don't have anything for him. Damn. Dust is such a dry, hot season. Both suns are high in the sky, baking the usually lush Vertumnan jungle. If there's a breeze, it's warm and, guessed it, dusty. Your parents are up every day before dawn, which comes far too early for your liking. They're usually gone by the time you wake up and home after you're asleep, so you have to visit them after work if you want to see them.
Good morning, Gooseberry!
Your dad greets you cheerily.
Have you come to see the harvest? Your mom and I are gathering crops from actual Vertumnan dirt this week.
There, that sounds I just miss you and Mom!
Aw, Buttercup.
He sighs, kneeling down to look at you.
I'm so sorry. How about your mom and I take the day off and we have some family time together?
No, your work is more important. Your dad gives you a long hug.
Thanks for understanding, Sunberry. We'll have more time to spend together once we fix things here, I promise. Oh, and don't forget, he adds as you're heading off, next week is the Vertumnalia Festival. It will be a talent show and a science fair. I know you're going to love it.
Hey, Cal. Cal is doing some stretches in an open area of the garden.
One of my mom's boyfriends is teaching me yoga,
he says, looking at you from upside down.
I can already do child pose and downward dog.
He flops over and lies on his back.
This one is my favorite, though.
Mars is oh, never mind. Watches some romance thing. Pick this up. That's mine! Should probably rest, huh? Relax in the lounge. Let's relax with Dice. You plop down beside Dice, who's listening to music in his hear speak and ignoring everyone else in the lounge with dogged determination. When it becomes obvious that you're not just going to leave him alone, he turns off his music with a huff.
What do you want?
You ask him what he's listening to, and he replies,
It's just some old Earth music. You probably won't like it.
All you have is Earth music, unless you want to listen to the space shanties the adults made up in the last 20 years, so you don't know what he's talking about. You tell him to give you a little credit. He rolls his eyes, but lets you sync your hair speak to his. Grungy-sounding rock music fills your skull. You spend a few hours passing music recommendations back and forth, lost in your own private soundscape. Oh yeah, +1 from the extra fingers perk as always. These extra fingers are doing work. I want to forget. It's time once more for Vertumnalia. The mood of the colony has been muted this year, ever since the attack during Glow. Though everything is still cheerfully decorated and the feast table is still heavy with food, mostly soy rations, this Vertumnalia just feels different, in a way you can't describe. The colonists gather in the square for Governor Udicot's speech.
What a year Vertumna has given us,
the governor begins in her weedy voice.
I stand before you so proud of everything the colony has accomplished in such a short time. I have always hoped that we would bring with us the best facets of humanity. Cooperation, resilience, and creativity. And the events of this year have given me no reason to doubt my convictions. These creatures were unexpected, but I urge everyone to consider what it means for life here. If Vertumna can sustain megafauna, then that means conditions are good for us as well. Our friends in geoponics are already working on the logistics of domesticating the wildlife.
Your dad, as second cultivator, stands and gives a sheepish wave to the crowd. There's a smattering of applause. Mars elbows you.
Hey, she whispers, did you hear? My dad says Udicot's gonna announce the depot's open to the public.
You shoot her a questioning look, and she rolls her eyes.
You know, shopping? Somewhere to spend all the kudos we've been saving up? There's gonna be candy and toys and makeup and nice-smelling soap, not the boring kind in the communal showers.
You know the concept of shopping. They do it in the holovids from Earth, especially the ones Mars likes. You've never actually done it. The colony provides everything you need. But it would be nice to buy yourself a treat.
My dad's give me an allowance, Mars says, shooting you a look of pity. It's too bad your parents make you work for yours.
You and Mars tune back into the speeches just as Yudakot, as predicted, announces the opening of the general store at the depot. Mars gives you a knowing look as she claps. Yudakot gestures for the council members to stand.
Finally, the council remains unchanged from last year. We are, as always, proud to serve you and the colony as your government.
The music starts up as Governor Yudakot finishes.
Thank you all for your hard work and your perseverance this year, she says over the ruckus. Together, we build the future.
The crowd disperses and sets up for the annual Virtunalia Games. Just like last year, there's a talent show, a science fair, and bot wrestling. Now with an obstacle course. Which one do you participate in this year? Obviously the talent show again. Our creativity is pretty high. Dice and Mars are your competitors for the talent show. Mars is a shoo-in for winning with her jazzy, high-energy dance routine, so all eyes are on Dice for daring to compete against her. Dice stands on stage and clears his throat, then gestures with his arm. From his hollow palm emerges a projection of a ventriloquist dummy. He sits it on his lap and launches into a comedy routine, speaking through the doll with zero filter. The judges all howl at his impression of Chief Engineer Instance, but the crowd favored by far is Administrator Seed's thin, self-important voice coming out of the doll, imperiously demanding that not everyone can have perfect scores. They have to be rationed appropriately. Dice looks flustered by all the attention, but proud as well. He bobs in a little bow before leaving the stage to raucous applause. It'll be a hard act to follow. What do you do? A magic act, of course. I'm gonna see if I can... 4-3. No, it was better this way. 2, 3, 4. Whoa, I was victorious? Everyone is amazed at your magic act, especially the one where you pretended to cut one of the judges in half. You win, as would an audience applause. Woo! Gain status popular. Dice just shrugs and smiles. He didn't mean to win anyway, so there's no hard feelings. Mars, on the other hand, is livid. I worked on my routine for months, she cries and refuses to shake your hand. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. Mars organizes a water fight that takes over the whole colony, even the adults. It brightens everyone's spirits, even the thick heat of dust. You end up on top of the western wall with Dice, launching water-filled poof shrooms down on an unsuspecting enemy in the sports ball court below. The walls seem like a neat place to hang out and relax. Much quieter than the lounge if you're looking for some solitude. Uh-huh. You spot Dice arguing with someone working expeditions. They point angrily back to the gates, and Dice slinks towards you, anger in his eyes.
We're trapped here, he grumbles. Hate it. Hate it here.
Are you eating enough?
Your mom says, looking at you critically.
Drinking enough water?
It's hotter here than you used to. You have to take care of your body if you want it to take care of you. Your dad is watching your mom work. You can practically see the hearts in his eyes.
Your mom's an incredible lady, he says dreamily. True love is hurtling yourself into space with someone and hoping for the best for your children.
Ew, Dad. Gross. Anemone rolls a bobber fruit down her arm and flicks it to you with her elbow.
Onomatope.
I knew that one.
Onomatope.
Anemone rolls a bobber fruit down her arm and flicks it to you with her elbow, then munches down on one of her own while she watches the construction crews work on the walls.
Kinda cool, huh? She says. Soon this place is gonna look like a real colony.
Wow, you good? That's just because it's in the kanji memorization I'm doing. Thank you for the lurk. Oh, never mind. She's busy. She's working. Let's shovel some dirt. You're pulling weeds from the I go back to Farscape series. Okay. Stream's gonna end in 11 minutes. I am feeling very tired. Belon lurking to give you a view. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really nice. You're pulling weeds from the garden beds when you see Cal scurry past you, moving with a purpose. He doesn't even stop to say hello before he disappears into a barn. Follow him. You slip into the barn behind Cal. He's so absorbed in whatever's in that broken storage box that he doesn't hear you. You can do it, he whispers. Come on! Go, go, go! You creep forward, but the barn door creaks closed behind you, and Cal drums. Goober! He says, moving between you and the box. What do you need? What's in the box? What's in the box? Cal clenches his fists. Nothing. It's nothing. Whatever Cal is going to say next is interrupted by a chirping noise from the box. Cal gasps and swirls around, and you both rush forward to look. Inside the box is a pink caterpillar-like creature about the length of your arm, looking up at you with big, multifaceted eyes. Its mouth parts wave at you and make a clicking, chirping noise. It's hatched, Cal says. Hey, little baby, welcome to the world. What is it? Dunno, Cal says. I looked it up in the Surveyor archives, but nobody's found anything like it before. It's true, you have no idea what this creature is. Hey, whoops. Yeah, it showed up in one of the first shipments of mushwood, he says, rubbing its little nose. Just curled up in a little cocoon. It looked like a dried up leaf, but warm. I didn't want to just throw it away in case whatever was inside was still living, and no one was using this busted up storage box, so... Cal puts the small creature on his shoulder. Small? That bitch is as big as an infant, a baby. What are you, little buddy? Cal asks. You look like a big old caterpillar, but cuter. The creature yawns, showing off circular rows of tiny, even teeth, and nestles against Cal's neck as he scritches it under the chin. Maybe we call you a dilly pillar? He touches one of its 6 white-capped feet. Socks. Socks the dilly pillar. Hope nobody finds out. Same here, Cal says. Do you remember Mrs. Manners, the mouse we found in the stratospheric? The grown-ups wouldn't let us keep her.
He frowns. I wonder what happened to her in engineering. Maybe Tang knows. I have to hide her, Cal says, looking around. Think she'll be okay if I keep her in the broken storage box?
He places socks gently into the box and closes the lid.
Go back to sleep, little buggy wuggy, he croons. Sleep tight.
Oh, wait. Two? Damn. Damn, this one is just locked in, huh? Can't do anything about it. How about I do 0, 1, 2? Oh, Dice! Dice is sitting in the grass near the big gates that lead out to the jungle. He's just staring out into nothingness and picking absent-mindedly at the weeds. He pretends not to notice you approach. Sit down with him. He shifts uncomfortably as you sit, but doesn't say anything. You both just hang out saying and doing nothing. You stare out the big gates. The grass in the colony is trimmed short by garden bots, but out there it's wild and as high as your waist. Head Surveyor Toning is prepping his equipment for an outing. He's bringing a lot. Maybe he's going to stay out overnight. You're starting to wonder if Dice will ever acknowledge you when he says, I've gotta go. He starts down the hill. He pauses and says, this is a good spot. I'll probably come back here tomorrow. I don't think he'll like this log. Let me check. Can I give him a log? Interesting music. Anemone rolls up. Oh, never mind. Yeah, let's go chill out. Everywhere is hot this time of year, but at least indoors there's shade and some modicum of climate control. It's not a lot, but it helps. When you get bored of Watado juice, you amuse yourself by coming up with juice cocktails with fancy names and even fancier presentation. The younger kids really appreciate the half-frozen slushy version. No, I don't want to forget that. It's 2. We have time for one more day. Cal is kicking a ball against the garden fence post, cheering when it bounces back towards him.
Ever since we landed here, I don't play a lot of sports ball, he says, picking up the ball and tucking it under his arm. Anemone and I used to play a lot, but honestly, I think I like working in the garden more. He smiles up at the sky. I just like doing stuff that feels like it makes a difference, you know? I don't want to just play all the time like Anemone.
Here, you want this, blog?
Neat,
Cal exclaims, taking your gifts and peering at it inquisitively.
I don't know what I'll do with it, but I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dice wipes his eyes and hides his face as you approach.
Go away, he sniffles. I just want to be left alone. Why won't people just leave me alone? I don't want to be a part of this stupid colony.
Dice is standing outside the cover of the walls, his face turned to the rain and arms stretched wide. He's soaked to the bone and his clothes cling to his tiny frame.
This planet is wild!
He shouts over the driving beat of the rain.
You can't stop it! It just is!
God, he says some shit. My spicy little chili pepper. Oh, it's under the log! Let's study humanities. You spend a few weeks reading old classic novels from Earth, and you learn a lot of words that you soon discover the adults do not want you saying in casual conversation. Professor Howell says you should take the novels in context of the time they were written, but it's hard to overlook some of the stereotypes people used to believe. 5 kudos if total equals goal. Okay. It's not gonna be the high score. Huh. Damn it. Yeah, I did it! Okay, I believe that is the end of this stream. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to play this. When do I next play this? Let me check. Tuesday. I play this on Tuesday. Wait. Oh, today is Monday now, so I play it tomorrow night. Okay. Anyone wants to follow? You can follow now. Subscribe on YouTube. What else? What game am I playing tomorrow? Fallout New Vegas. Finally. Oh, that didn't work. Next. Okay. Yeah, I'll be playing Fallout New Vegas. Will be tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. EDT. What else? Oh yeah, don't forget to donate on to the Trans Lifeline if you want to donate. Donation button. Anyone wants to join the Discord server, you're welcome to join. And let's find someone to raid. You know, if I have enough people to raid out. Thank you everyone for sticking by. Mark all these as complete. Let's 2 people, 2 viewers. Sakyo is playing Zero Escape. Virtue's Last Reward. That's a fun game. So let's raid out to Sakyo. See y'all tomorrow for Fallout New Vegas. Thank you and bye-bye.